Slater, Machado, how's it going, bros?
Going good, thanks.
What's up, buddy?
Okay, later, dudes.
Radical.
Hi, I'm Rob Machado.
I'm Kelly Slater.
And I'm Sal Masakela. We're gonna teach you how to surf like a pro.
Just come out here and show me some moves.
The first thing you have to do on your premier surf journey is make sure, of course, that you got a surfboard, because you're gonna need to ride that in the ocean.
Now, do you want to have your board with a lot of rocker or just a little?
I don't know. I guess I'd like...
What you want is something in between. Trust me, I'm the expert here, okay?
So you want a big, stable board, something that floats really well, paddles very easily, carries a lot of momentum as you paddle with your arms, and makes it easy for you to get up and build your confidence. Second off, you need to know basically what to expect in the water. So, you know, the basic idea of how to paddle, how to judge when a wave's coming towards you, how to stand up once you paddle for that wave. And there's a whole lot of things we'll learn in between there, too.
The most important safety rules in surfing is your environment. You know your environment and watch everyone around you. Surfing's the kind of sport where you have to look out for yourself, but you also have to have an eye out for everybody else in the water. To paddle out, you gotta lie on your stomach, you gotta get centered on the board. That sometimes can be a little tricky, but once you find your balance there where you're not tipping over too much in the front or in the back, it's one arm after the other, kind of like swimming, and you're just basically taking your hand, putting it through the front of the board, and pulling the water underneath the board. You do that with each hand, and next thing you know, you get a little momentum, and you're going. It's not that easy at first, though, but you'll get the hang of it.
Arms are probably gonna get tired, but that's just part of the deal. You get used to it. You assess what kind of wave you're surfing. So you might be surfing, let's say, a beach break, which is a sand bottom wave, and it's breaking close to the beach. So you just judge where the waves are breaking, and you try to paddle out at the spot where there's the least amount of waves breaking, so that you don't have to deal with the waves pushing you in. And then it's just nice, even strokes, one arm at a time, alternating, until you're out there.
Oh, the natural. I have the natural.
And then to ride a wave, you basically want to watch the wave coming in, you want to judge when it's going to get to you, and by the time it gets to you, you want to be paddling at full speed so that you're going almost with the speed of the wave.
Long, smooth strokes. Dig deep, dig, come on.
I'm digging!
And you got to really put some effort into your strokes, really pull in some water, get into that wave, and then you got to get up.
Hey, check it out.
Getting up on the surfboard is not real easy, but you can't put too much thought into it. Once you found your wave and you're paddling for it, you can't think too much. As soon as you find that point where the wave is pushing you and you got some momentum, you gotta pop up to your feet. No crawling around or fuddling around to get on it, because once you do that, you're gonna be like this and you're going off one side or the other, or probably over the front.
It's almost like you're doing a push-up. You're pushing your chest up off your board, and then you want to bring the foot that's going to be in front is going to come right underneath your chest. That's going to be your front foot, and then you just pop right up. Simple. It's easy.
So as soon as you catch that wave, no matter how scared or all the things that are going through your mind, you gotta pop up, boom, right up on your feet and go.
That's when it gets fun, you know. From when you catch the wave, the initial rush of actually paddling into the wave and standing up is the best part. I mean, that's what we live for, and then the ride after that is just kind of the reward.
Once you've caught the wave, the really interesting thing is most of your work is done because you've harnessed the wave's energy. So now what you got to do is just let the wave do the work. Feel the balance, feel the subtle changes in the energy that's moving underneath your feet. It's a lot easier said than done. But if you just go with the flow, next thing you know, you'll be standing on the sand going, hey man, that was me.
Everyone, including myself, started off surfing straight towards the beach. And that's kind of what you do. It's a natural way of just learning how to stand up, learning how to catch waves. We're gonna ride it all the way into the
Once you've learned how to sort of ride the whitewater into the beach, now you're gonna get out on the place that we call the face. The face of the wave, that's where all the energy is. But once you get out on the face, there's all sorts of fun things you can do.
The first maneuver anyone learns is called a bottom turn. When you take off on the wave, you get to the bottom of the wave and you turn, and that's why it's called a bottom turn. In order to turn the board, once you get up on a wave, you basically need to step back so your back fin is near where the fin is on the board. And when you get there, you can lean one way or the other. You don't want to lean too much of your upper body one way or the other, but you just kind of lean your feet into it, and as you feel the board push against the water and start to turn, you just kind of go with it. You don't want to force anything.
Every session that you have surfing, you're gonna wipe out. If you don't wipe out, you're not having a good time. I know that sounds a little weird, because basically wiping out is like almost drowning all the time. Lots of fun.
Wiping out is definitely part of the experience, and it's gonna happen. It happens to everyone, happens to the best. And it's all about just staying calm, being relaxed.
You want to be somewhere where your mind is calm, your heartbeat's not racing, you're not burning all that oxygen in your blood and your muscles. So you just basically get underwater and just start to maybe count. Just count to 10. By the time you hit 10, you'll be at the surface.
Once you pop up, look around, find your board, grab it. Do not head to shore. Instinct will tell you to head to shore, but you turn around and you make your way back out there and you do it again.
I'm gonna paddle back out. Well, there you go. That's surfing 101. Pretty simple. Paddle out, find a wave you want to ride, turn around, catch it, enjoy the ride.
You did it! You're ready! Let's surf! Come on!
Z, don't play with me, Z. We're surfing! Yes! Yes! Okay.
What makes a great surfer? A great surfer to me is the person who's having the most fun. That's a great surfer.
I think for any surfer, it's nice to see people just get the enjoyment of what surfing is. To get on a wave and be connected to surfing, to the feeling, to riding a wave.
And that's the main reason, really, to go out there and be in the ocean and just love it.
You know, enjoy it for what it is. Don't have expectations too high or too low. Just go out and experience what it is. You know, some days you have a good day, some days you have a bad day. But if you look at it the right way, it's all a learning experience, and it's a great way to share time with your family or your friends or just with yourself.
Thanks for hanging out. You guys are really good.
Now go take what we taught you, put it into effect, and have a good time.
And surf like a pro.
What was that like to recognize that this thing that you've been doing your whole childhood, that consumed your existence, was now your job?
Dream come true for me.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, spent all my years as a kid wanting to be a pro surfer, travel around the world, surf, you know, all the waves I saw in magazines, and go to the places I always dreamed of going, and you know, wake up one day and realize you're getting paid for that. It's pretty cool.
There's not a day that you wake up and you're not thankful that you get to go surfing as a job, you know.
Almost everyone who starts to surf will ask you about, you know,
Yeah.
what about the sharks? And I mean, I've been surfing for my whole life. I'm 35 years old. I've never been bitten by a shark. You know, you're probably not going to get bit by a shark.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
by the way.
Have you seen many? I've only seen a few. My whole
Yeah, I'm
existence.
sure.
I've
I'm
seen
sure
two.
more have seen you.
Yeah,
I saw.
yeah, for
I
sure.
saw about a dozen sharks just 4 days ago.
Well, guys, thanks for letting us dig into your professional shred brains.
All right.
We appreciate it. It's not every day you get to peer into the minds of champion surfers like yourselves. I thank you. The audience thanks you.
We thank you, Sal.
Thanks,
A
Sal.
lot of thankfulness.
There is.